back, everybody, to another episode of Innovation Alley. We're your hosts. I'm TowelManPurple.
I'm Bjorn.
And just for a brief moment, if you guys haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button to stay up to date on all the content we have coming out. Now, Bjorn, I see you have a Murple list you're bringing to the table today. Why don't you tell us about it?
So I got a little bit inspired by your deck list from last time. It's a reimagination of Amber Amethyst with a bit of a slower but more steadier curve, right? And I straight up stole those bells from you, gonna be honest. Uh, um, but yeah, the idea here is for one drops, I have Daisy Duck. I think is amazing. Um, and then just Turnbox followers and Magic Broom because they're okay. They replace themselves. It's whatever. Daisy is the only one drop I really want.
Sure. So you have the aggressive approach and then some card draw option.
Yeah, exactly. Then Piglet, a great quester, and Cusco is just like followers or Broom replaces itself. But he's even better because followers or Broom, you have to actually do something to get the card. So if they, get taken out by a Brawl or Sisu, for example, you don't get it. But Cusco, you will always get the card whenever he's banished, and the opponent can't just not banish him because otherwise he's gonna quest for the rest of the game. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, makes
Um,
sense.
for three, we got Doc for playing some of those 5 drops. So we have some juicy 5 drops here. We're gonna get to that in a second. Um, we have Bell. Moving 1 damage can actually be really impactful. Heal 1 from your stuff, 1 damage on the opponent's stuff can be all the difference in winning or losing an engagement, right? And
Totally
then we
agree.
have this small 3-cost Elsa, who honestly the ability should not be underestimated. Just exert her to exert any other character. Pretty freaking good. Um,
So
but Rapunzel
noticing
as our
here
card draw.
that it's a 60 character deck. Any
Yeah.
love for Pongo?
Oh yeah, Pongo would be in the already crowded 3-cost slot. And I also feel like I don't need that much card draw here. I would rather have cards that do things or quest for a lot. Like Rapunzel is the only proper card draw I feel like we need here. Because she's just great. She heals up to 3 damage, draws up to 3 cards. Absolutely amazing. We have some stuff at 4 or 5 willpower that can sure use it. Even our Daisy Duck that costs 1 has 4 willpower, and if we get a Rapunzel off on her, I mean it's just profit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, the inescapable goat. I run 4 goats in every Amethyst list because it's just, oh, your control opponent is online and has be prepared and everything, and you can't play anything down because it just gets banished. Goats is your answer to that. It gets you from 18 to 20 lore.
Yes, sir.
Um, then we have, of course, Mufasa. That's why we run 60 characters here. Oh, this guy is so good, so fun. When he's banished, you reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a character, I mean, we only have characters, play it for free and exert it. So a lot of considerations in this list is like, okay, what cards are actually good having to play exerted? Daisy, for example, has 4 willpower, so getting her in exerted isn't that bad. 4 willpower can be difficult to remove. You often need 2 challengers. And of course, we're mostly hoping for the more expensive cards, but it's a lottery you gotta play.
Right.
Also got the big bell here. You can shift her, but I mean, you don't have to do that, do you? Do you ever shift bell in your deck?
Honestly, no. I know I play both of them, but I think it's just more for the
They're
damage
they're just
swap.
good on their own, right?
Yeah, they are. They are very good on their own. I think
Absolutely, just
shifting
good on
bell
their
may
own.
be something beneficial in the future when we have a 1 or 2 drop bell.
Oh, of course, yeah, because shift 3 on a 3-cost is very awkward. That's for sure. And then of course, the 5-cost Elsa, which is amazing. Rush, evasive, exerts something so you can really, I think, dominate the board.
She's so
This
good.
deck.
She's so
As
good.
well, yeah, actually, like you quest with your stuff while taking out the opponent's stuff is a real mid-range tempo deck. Then Isma is either removal or additional card draw. Like if you have, I don't know, a 1 or 2 cost character that you don't want anymore, that's gonna banished anyway by the opponent at the end of your turn, or at the opponent's turn, you can just instead convert that card to 2 cards, or simply remove your opponent's biggest thing and have them draw 2 cards if you think that's worth it. Um,
Yeah, or maybe even
and
a goat.
yeah, like sure, if you need, we don't have any bounce in here, so it could be an emergency one more lore off of goat for sure. We don't run any bounce cards because of Mufasa. Like getting a snake or fox from Mufasa very much hurt. It's not good. And 8 cost Elsa. The reason I run 4, first off, we don't have many uninkables. It's only Daisy and Elsa. We only have 8 uninkable cards in the entire deck. So it's fine. And also, we have 8 shift targets. We have 3 cost Elsa and 5 cost Elsa, 4 of each. So we're almost always going to be able to shift around 6. So really, you don't need more than 6 ink with this deck.
Yeah, very linear, straightforward, and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Did you get any chance to jam some games yet?
Uh, Not too many with this list, but Murple, for those who don't know, is like that's my deck. I've been playing it since at 3 on and off. It's what I topped Thea's 10K with. It's a really fun deck, and I'm trying to make it worth for this set specifically, which is challenging. That's why it's a little question mark. It's like, Murple, is this it? So please, if you think this looks cool, go and try it for yourself. Let me know. Go into the Ink Thieves Discord or write in the YouTube comments what your experience is, how you can improve this list.
Awesome, man. All right, man. That wraps that one up. That's awesome. I think I'm going to give that one a go because I happen to love Amber and X. Doesn't matter what the X is, anything else.
Oh, yes. Same thing, brother. Amber, just amazing.
So I have brought Meta Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
So it is Amber Emerald. And to kick it off.
It's supposed to break the meta.
Yeah, that's kind of...
That's a bold claim. I'm going to be honest, my guy. That's a bold claim.
Well, let's get into it. So our aggressive starts with Daisy and Pegasus at the 1-drop.
And so only 8 1-drops? Do you think that's enough?
So typically I do prefer 12 or 10.
Yeah.
But in this color pair, and due to my uninkable count already being at 16, it's very difficult for me to get to a higher count and not skew numbers.
Yeah, I suppose you could just mulligan for them.
Yes, so the plan would be to aggressively mulligan for a 1-drop. Because everything else, the numbers increase in count. So at 2s and 3s, we have 10 apiece for character's sake.
Oh, okay. So it just goes up.
Kind of. So we'll still be able to keep the aggressive approach with the Piglet, or have some protection and disruption with Simba and Ursula. Trying to pave the way into your victory lap, right?
Of
Then,
course.
Donald Duck, just a pair of this guy. It does provide that extra lore, and the bodyguard that does seem very impactful when trying to protect, your Piglet, or letting your Daisy stay on the table just a turn longer.
Yep.
Now, something that I recently added in is Anna. So Anna is not your typical 3-drop, right? Because if you're playing it on 3, you're probably just doing it wrong, okay?
Yeah.
So Anna does have a smorgasbord of options for you to pay an additional 2 that maybe this card could have been in somebody's playing Magic in Lorcana deck. I don't know.
Oh yeah, of course. And I just have to say, you completely butchered that Swedish word, but go on.
What, smorgasbord?
Yeah, let's...
That's not how it goes?
Move on with your deck, man.
Okay. So typically
right.
we're using Anna as a form of removal. There are times where, you may want to use the discard option or even buff a character just to be able to
Yeah.
have an advantageous challenge. But overall, I like to use her as a removal.
Very useful card.
Oh, for sure. And then Jacques. Jacques has pleasantly been an eye-opening experience for me, where it is forcing somebody to allow you to activate a Rapunzel trigger on the next turn, or it will stop these blue decks from being able to exert their high room to draw additional cards, allowing you to freely continue to quest without worrying about them getting into their mass removal cards like Be Prepared, Big Sisu, Scar, etc. Then we have Rapunzel, which is a staple in every deck that plays Amber, right? I mean, I don't have to tell anybody anything about this card. Sven happens to be one of my favorite cards this set overall in this format.
He can be pretty good.
I happen to like this guy more than Simba and or Donald Duck, just because the readying the character is more important than having to have one exerted to protect, because you're not losing anything in the process.
Sure, it's often better than Bodyguard.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I agree. And then, to wrap up the 4-drops, Arthur.
What's he doing here?
So, Arthur's literally here just because of his stat line. He quests for 2, and his stat line is evasive against red removal.
Oh, yeah, Medusa can't touch that.
Right. So, it gives us just a little bit more game against the red decks. Now, at our 5-drops, we have 16 of them. Ooh. But that's because we play Just in Time. Right? A card that I happen to love and will try to fit into any deck where there's actual value for it to be played, right?
First chapter call, they want their card back.
Yeah, I know. I'm an old geezer. I get it. So, at the 5-drops, we have Cricky, which is great for answering locations, playing from behind, like if you're on the draw and they have the advantageous position of getting their board up first. This allows you to change the tempo of the game, as well as questing for 3, which is what you want to do in an aggro deck. Then Don Carnage just happens to be a very large, evasive, statted character that is also a just-in-time target. Can't ask for more. And to coincide with that, we have Ray, who's not as big, but definitely quests for 1 more, which is important. A 3-quester at 5 that can come out on a potential turn 3 is just something that is really, really hard to deal with if you don't have an immediate answer. Absolutely. Last but not least, the B-Prep recovery card.
Woo!
Another old geezer, just like myself, from set 1.
Oh, I love this card so much.
This guy he's still the man, okay? Because red, steel, it doesn't matter. Like, Edict effects are not played as much anymore with your Bee King or Lady Tremaine. They're still fringe played a little bit in the red-purple decks.
Yeah.
But
if they don't have exactly that, then just playing this on an empty field is free.
Right.
Like they can't do that. They can't do nothing.
Yeah, I love it.
I suppose you also have to be wary of Big Sisu though, because of the.
Yes, you would have to worry about Big Sisu because of the 2, so it does meet the requirements.
That's a big commitment for the opponent, though.
Oh, for sure.
That would be a big commitment for them.
Also, they would have to hope that they have the shift available for it, because if they're trying to play Big Sisu at 8, well, maybe they've ramped there, right? So that's also a potential. That's also potential.
Well, I mean, especially if you get Cusco or Ray or Don Carnage out with just in time, that's just disgusting, because they're going to be very hard to remove, especially when you play them 2 turns early. Like, that's just nasty, right?
Yeah, and the other cool thing is, let's say you do get one of these out on turn 3, and then you follow it up with either a Sven or an Arthur, something else that evades the removal or allows you to evade being challenged on the reciprocating turn.
Sure.
It just opens up the doorway for you to have another potential huge gain in lore the next turn, kind of putting them on a answer my field or lose type of situation, which is really, really important for the aggro decks. Well, there you have it. We started off with Murple, ended with Meta Breaker. And now it's up to you, wonderful people, to tell us how you feel. Test them out. Let us know. Make sure you leave a comment and tell us exactly how your experience went. One more time, this was another episode of Innovation Alley. We are signing off. You guys have a great one.
Peace.